there, everybody. Errol from Our Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now today's video is going to be a little bit different. This for me is the culmination of pretty much all of my backpacking trips all put together leading up to this point. And in this case, I am going on a trip, 32 miles, 12 peaks, 2 nights, 2 full days, and a little bit of a half a day. Should be a pretty solid overall adventure. And right now I'm getting ready to go. Now you'll notice on this particular video, I am going to shoot this entirely with my cell phone. Basically what I want to do is maintain as light a kit as possible, as good quality a kit as I can possibly put together with the least amount of weight. So at this point, we're going to take a look at my gear and then we're going to get into the trip. So of all my bags, I decided to carry my Granite Gear Blaze 60. This to me was definitely the best bag for this trip due to its light weight. Now I also have the Granite Gear Crown 260, which is actually a little bit lighter. However, this bag can be tailor fit to your exact torso size. And so for that reason, this fits me better than that Granite Gear Crown 260. And I thought it would be a more comfortable carry over the course of the entire trip. So here, just a couple of quick things. Good pair of sunglasses and also my tripod, little bit of mojo, which comes with me. So this is my, I would say, luckiest, has the most trail time, and really is the Punisher bead for me, the one that needs to come on this epic journey. So for my shelter, I opted to bring this Sea to Summit ultralight hammock. This is the XL. So a very small, extremely lightweight, capable hammock with the ultralight straps. So there, if you see how tiny and lightweight that is in combination with a mattress pad. So then on top of that, I end up with my actual shelter. I am bringing my DD hammock, super light tarp, so I just have it right now kind of loose. I want this to be able to compact nicely inside my bag, so using it like this, it'll fill some void space. I don't want this to be a hard, tight little ball. It won't fit quite so nicely, and this also gives me the ability, where this is like a mesh, to put it on the outside of my bag in the event that this gets wet. Now, I do expect it to get wet at this time. It is really leading up to Hurricane Dorian that's coming up the coast. So unfortunately, where I'm at, it is going to be affected. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get hit by any means by the hurricane, but it is going to be affected. So I am expecting a good amount of weather, and I'm hoping this will work. So I actually brought double the tie outs than I usually do, 8 tie outs, 8 stakes, and a ridge line in there. So that pretty much takes care of my shelter and sleep system. However, I do like to be comfortable, so I intend on bringing my 3 camp pillows. I bring these every time. I bring all 3, and that will work for me. Now, just a little added security. I am bringing a 2Go Systems shelter. This is the Velar. So I'm adding a little bit of size, but this Velar is basically like a bivy sack. So in the worst case scenario, if I needed a good Tyvek cover over me, around me, something to keep me dry, or just a little added warmth, there you go. So that's a perfect way to go in this situation, and that's exactly why I like these 2Go Systems products. Now, speaking of 2Go Systems, they are definitely going to keep me safe. So here I have the Shift Hybrid Quilt. This to me is my most trusted piece of gear. I completely understand it. It's going to work extremely well and give me a cocoon setup over my hammock. So that allows me to cocoon inside without de-lofting the down on the inside. Now, as far as my clothing, I am bringing my down setup. So here I have my down pants and my down jacket. So my Kuiu pants and my Rab down jacket. My change of clothes is very small. I have 1 t-shirt, 1 pair of underwear, 1 pair of socks. Then I have a shamag because I know my face is going to get cold. I also have a warm pair of like kind of sleeping socks, I'll call them. I'm not going to wear them on the trails, but they're warm sleeping socks. I have my Kuiu hat and also a pair of gloves. So I am expecting to need those, but they are a very small package. In fact, when you look at it in comparison to my camp pillow, it really does not take much in the way of space. Other basic simple needs, here I have my headlamp, so my 180 light headlamp. I have my steel will roamer knife. Now this to me is, I'm not going to say my most trusted gear. However, I do trust this. I've used it in the past. It performed extremely well. I need something that's a little bit bigger and can do some clearing for me when I set up my hammock, because I might need a little bit of clearing on some branches. So it's long enough for that, capable of doing all of my food preparation, and also it's a good quality combination where it's lightweight. It's a D2 tool steel, which I know won't have rust problems, has a good grippy rubberized handle, and has the polymer sheath. So this whole thing will drain. It's not going to be susceptible to problems with moisture. Good hard tool steel, the ability to do some work and clean up my shelter area. Now, talking about food, I'm basically going to go very simple. A plate and a spoon. Now, I don't have anything else really with me other than a canteen, which you'll see is going to double as a water canteen, but also my cup while I'm where I need to be. So if I'm going to have coffee or anything like that, I'll use this for the coffee. But in the meantime, on the trails, I have it on my hip for a liter of water. But none of my food is going to require cooking, so no stove, no fuel, keeping it very simple, food that I can just eat right out of the bag. So I do need the ability to cut food, so I'll use my knife. I have this little Fossil's plate to use as a cutting board, and then this spoon. Now this to me is brand new. I'm actually pretty excited about this, and I know it seems a little bit foolish. Hey, I'm excited about a spoon, but this is a long handle spoon, and not only that, but it's longer than most by at least an inch. So that total length, very nice, the polished bowl. Now, unfortunately, I lost one of my spoons. I have no idea where it went. I don't usually lose gear, but I did. And so this is a replacement. And I'm pretty excited to get this to work. Now, water is going to be challenging on this trip. That could be a video of its own. But basically, here I have my kit. I have a couple of bladders that I'm going to have in case I need to fill them up. I have a dirty bag in there, and then I have my filter. So filtering is going to be critical on this trip. I am relying on good, clean water to keep me safe. I have a number of places where I know I can get it, and hopefully we're going to target this the right way, go after the appropriate amount of water, and be efficient on the trails. Small fabrics, bandanas, a washcloth, not too much in the way of weight or bulk, but definitely useful items. Here I have my battery bank, so my power bank, capable of charging up my phone. Now this phone is going to be used extensively as a GPS, but also as my camera, so I know having good quality battery backup is going to be important. Here I have my 2-part med kit, so basically 2 parts, the bulk of my bandages, and I also have a splint, and then some shampoo, wipes, tape, things like that, and then the small pouch that has all my little vials. If you've taken a look at one of my past videos, you'll see how I've set this up, but this to me is a good comprehensive kit capable of taking care of most issues I'll have on the trails. And then finally, I have my toilet paper and some wipes. Now, to wrap it all up on this trip, clothing is going to be difficult, and my outerwear is going to be really key. So here I have the Kuiu Peloton. I think this is the 200 weight jacket, basically a hoodie, very comfortable, nice quality, technical piece of gear. This is actually a very nice item. It is actually incredible how well this works to regulate your body temperature, both keeping you warm and cool. So it's like a good layer that helps to really regulate body temperature. That's going to be key while I'm up on ridges. And then here, the Fjallraven Keb jacket. So this to me is a new item. I haven't used this yet. I'm pretty intrigued by it. Nice stretchy material, but also water resistant. So this material, the G1000, is a great material for many different types of garments, and I'm interested to see how it'll be on this jacket. Now for my pants, these are the Helicon Tex Hybrid Outback pants. Brand new to me, have not worn them yet. They feel really interesting where they're lightweight, really thin, nice and stretchy, very similar to the material on the Keb jacket. But they also have good reinforcement through the difficult areas like the knees where you sit down, on some of the areas where they're going to rub together. So I am very intrigued at how these are going to perform. And then here on top of the Helicon Tex pants, you'll see this is my Emdom Flex inner belt. Nice Velcro belt, keep my pants nice and tight. But as a system, I am relying on these 3 garments basically to keep me safe. Now, for my boots, I'm going to be wearing my Under Armour boots. I've been wearing them all summer, and they've been great. Still have plenty of life left on them. and I'm going to keep nice and lightweight with lightweight Gore-Tex boots. But other than that, that is pretty much it. In terms of water, how I'm going to deal with water, like I said, I'm going to filter. I'm actually going to bring 4 of these Polar Seltzer bottles. I like these. They're okay. They're not super lightweight, but they do fine for me. And each one is a liter, which is key. Water management and my ability to appropriately drink and eat on this trip is extremely important. So that's 0. Now me without the pack, 174.4. So now me with the pack, 196.6. So right around a 22-pound base. That to me is not too bad. It's light enough. I could probably lose a little bit of weight if I was a little more careful, but I know I'm walking into a storm literally. So I need a little bit of more gear with me. I need some slightly warmer things. I got to deal with wet. I got to deal with cold. And so at least at this point, I know I have a good quality kit capable of keeping me safe. Now, going down through some of the logistics on this, you'll see and just how I kind of tried to plan things. Now, some of this isn't going to completely hold true. We've tweaked our day, we've tweaked our distance, and sort of some of our strategy. But behind the scenes, basically what I've done to lay this out is mapped out the entire trail. So here you see the mileage from beginning to end, each one of the destinations along the way. And at this point, where we're going to get water, how many liters I need to pack, how I plan on kind of spacing it out, because water, I think, is going to be pretty critical on this trip. Then on top of that, taking a look at my food and the different things that I plan on eating. I've actually been really paying attention to my diet, so I wanted to take a look at some of the things I was planning on bringing, how that would end up breaking out in terms of the macros, so calories and the different components within it, fat, protein, and carbs. Just kind of taking a look at that stuff. So put a lot of thought into this. Now, by the end of this, we're basically going to hit 12 peaks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 different peaks, and we hit all the peaks by mile 23. So that's pretty cool. Good amount of hiking. We're going to try to get to roughly the mid-mark the first day, stay for the night the second day, hit all the rest of it, camp out on one of these little rivers, and then head out the next day. So 2 full days of hiking, a little bit of a piece of a day, and a hurricane in the middle of all of this. So very interesting, but at this point, let's hit the trails.